Tuesday, January 27th, 2009. 5 Ain't Enough, number 123. A Steeler podcast for a Steeler Nation on whatchatalkingabout.com.
Here we go, Steelers. Here we go.
Crazy.
Here we go.
I'm jumping out of my skin. I can't believe the Steelers won.
Here we go. Steelers. Here we go.
Pittsburgh's won the Super Bowl. Here we go.
Here we go.
Steelers gonna win the Super Bowl.
Here we go. Steelers. Here we go.
Pittsburgh's won the Super Bowl. Here we go. Super Bowl, baby!
Welcome back, listeners, to another episode of 5 Ain't Enough. You're checking out 5 Ain't Enough, number 123, a Steeler podcast for a Steeler Nation on January 27th, 2009. As always, the show is hosted by yours truly, Lance Williams. If you want to get involved with the program, we have two ways. You can hit us with a quick take at 202-206-4468. You can also hit us on the boards. And listeners, for the Friday special edition of the show, I want it to be a call-in prediction show. I want you guys to call in and call your shot on the Super Bowl. Give me a score and a brief analysis of the game. Hit me again at 202-206-4468. It's a free call. I know we got a recession going on, but hit me on Friday, or actually hit me before Friday so I can get them all up. Call in, hit me with your shot on your prediction. Also, listeners, want to give a special shout out to Tracy Boyd and her husband. Tracy is a former classmate of mine at Cal Berkeley, and I understand that her husband is a huge Steeler fan. So big up to you guys. Keep listening to the program. I'm sorry, Tracy, I had to spill the beans. Yes, you can tell your husband you know me and that I do the show. It's out there. A fellow Steeler fan in arms. So big up to you too. In the opening monologue, we're going to break down the positional matchups on both sides of the ball. And it's good to be talking about football because over the course of the week, you're going to hear a ton of stories that make no sense. For instance, the demeanor of both teams as they exited the plane. And me and Coach talked about this, and we disagreed respectfully because I respect Coach's opinion. Coach has given me a lot of insight and knowledge on how I see the game. And we disagreed on the demeanor of the teams. Coach found it a little disconcerting that the Pittsburgh Steelers came out looking relaxed with video cameras like it was their first time there. Jim Miller, former quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sirius Satellite Radio, said the same thing, echoed the same sentiments of Coach Caller. Me, I don't really buy into that stuff. I don't care if Arizona came out in suits. I don't care if the Steelers came out playing Jay-Z. Doesn't matter to me. I don't think it's going to take away from their preparation for the game. The game plan, for the most part, is already installed, and they were just getting off the plane. So all you're going to hear about over the next few days, distractions. You'll hear some football, some X's and O's, and you'll hear how the Pittsburgh Steelers have no chance at stopping the vaunted offense of the Arizona Cardinals, regardless of the fact that the Steelers played the toughest schedule this season, and the Steelers have faced very high-powered offenses this year and the last several years under the tutelage and the instruction and the coaching of outstanding defensive coordinator Dick Lebeau. But let's switch reels and let's jump into the positional matchups. At the quarterback position, you have Ben Roethlisberger and Kurt Warner. And the compelling matchup in this game, one of them, is that you have two winning Super Bowl quarterbacks. And I believe this is the first time in Super Bowl history where you've had two quarterbacks playing the same game and you had two Super Bowl winners. So that's compelling. That's a story. In this matchup, I think you have to give the edge to Kurt Warner. Kurt Warner is 61 of 92 for 770 yards and 8 touchdowns in the playoffs. He's outstanding against the blitz, and he's played fantastic football this year. I think the edge goes to Kurt Warner, but I don't think it's as big as people suggest. Ben Roethlisberger, one thing he has ability to do, and that's to win football games with his feet, and it gives him the ability to extend plays, and Ben wins, and Ben plays big in big games. So I would give Kurt Warner the edge, but not a huge edge. At the running back position, speaking of edge, you have Edgerrin James and Willie Parker. I think the edge in this matchup, pardon the pun, goes to Willie Parker. I think Willie Parker is the more explosive running back, has the home run hitting capabilities, and he's playing much better football, and he's finally healthy. Although he struggled against the Ravens, everyone struggles against the Ravens except for the New York Giants in regards to running the football. I think Edge has played solid football, but I think the edge in the matchup at the running back position goes to Willie Parker. In terms of the receivers, this is a clear advantage for the Arizona Cardinals. You've got Anquan Bolden, you've got Larry Fitzgerald, Steve Breston, 3 wide receivers with over 1,000 yards. The clear advantage goes to Arizona. When you talk about the wide receivers for the Pittsburgh Steelers, a solid bunch, not a great bunch, but the big question hovering over that position is the injury to Hines Ward. He says he's going to play. He's been getting round-the-clock treatment. I've read in several reports that Hines Ward is going to play with the brace, and it's going to be essential for the Steelers' offense to stay on schedule. Hines Ward has to play. If Hines Ward can't go and give the Steelers that critical element that they need in converting third downs, from an offensive standpoint, the Steelers are going to struggle. On the offensive line, I think the edge goes to Arizona. Arizona is the much better pass blocking unit. And I think Arizona has been more consistent over the course of the season. I think the Achilles heel of the Pittsburgh Steelers is their offensive line. It's solid, but it's not great. It's inconsistent. So when you look at the two groups, the clear advantage, in my opinion, is the Arizona Cardinals. On the defensive side of football, the defensive line, clear edge, in my opinion, to the Pittsburgh Steelers. You got Casey Hampton, Aaron Smith, Brett Kiesel. They do a fantastic job in shutting down the run, the second best unit in the National Football League in that regard. I think they're better than an outstanding unit that I think is underrated in Darnell Dockett and Brian Robinson and Bertrand Berry and Travis Lebeau. I think Arizona is solid, but not as good as the Pittsburgh 3. In terms of the linebacker position, the clear edge goes with the Pittsburgh Steelers. When you have Lamar Woodley, who now has 15.5 sacks, and a James Ferrier, who I believe has 18.5 sacks, you don't have bookend outside linebackers better than that. Plus, you put that, or you couple that with an outstanding James Ferrier on the interior and Lawrence Timmons with the depth, outstanding for the Pittsburgh Steelers. No doubt that the edge is clearly with the Pittsburgh Steelers at the linebacker position. Although Dansby and Chike O'Keefe are solid, they're just not better, in my opinion, than the Pittsburgh Steelers. The secondary, I think another clear edge is with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Troy Polamalu, couple that with Ike Taylor, a Pro Bowl alternate, Brian McFadden, Deshae Townsend, William Gay, Ryan Clark, Tyrone Carter. The depth and versatility of the Pittsburgh secondary might be the best in the National Football League. And that's taking nothing away from Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie and an emerging group. But they've got Rod Hood out there, and they've got Antrell Roll and Adrian Wilson, two guys. If you want to hear the rest of the program, go to the website, www.whatchatalkingabout.com. And that's spelled WHATTALKINBOUT.com. and download the program. Or if you want to subscribe, please subscribe via iTunes.